Now, look, I'll be the first one to tell you what Coach Prime and the Colorado football team is doing in his inaugural season in Boulder is impressive without a doubt. And after this weekend against Colorado State, they're going to be 3-0, which triples their win total from all of last year. And one of the craziest parts is they actually have two college football experiments we've really never seen going on at the same time. The first is bringing in so many transfer portal guys, literally an inordinate amount, and having them have cohesion and be able to play together so well and mistake-free in year one. The second is having the Shohei Ohtani of college football in Travis Hunter legitimately play both ways, not in spot duty, but play over 125 snaps a game. But everybody needs to slow their roll with the talk of them winning the Pac-12 or possibly making the playoff. It's not going to happen. And to be quite honest, these expectations aren't fair to the team and coaching staff, and they aren't based in any type of reality. You ask why? Well, the reasoning is because while they have played almost mistake-free and they're letting other teams beat themselves, they're still very mediocre up front. That's just the reality. They give up way too many yards on the ground, and they don't gain much on the ground, and they have to manufacture pressure defensively to get to the quarterback. Now, they play in what could end up being the best conference in college football in the Pac-12, and they're about to run into a buzzsaw here shortly. Teams aren't going to be dropping 8 snaps a game against them. Now, they're pretty much diet USC when it comes to team balance. Making a bowl game would be an enormous accomplishment and one of the best coaching jobs that we've seen in a long time. Now, next year, Colorado is going to be able to go get the help they need up front very quickly from the portal, and recruiting is going to take a whole new shine in Boulder after this hype and PR machine year one. The money's going to flow in like the rivers of ancient Babylon, and Prime will go from having to catch breaks to win games to literally breaking other teams down. So let's celebrate what Colorado is doing. I am all for it. But let's not lose our minds here, people. Like Will Ferrell told the guys in the locker room in Old School,
we can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. We've come too far. There's too much to lose. We've got to keep our composure.
We got to keep our composure, guys. I'm going to bring in David Cohn, former Michigan quarterback, former Western State, Colorado wide receiver, Blaine Crane. David, again, we got game days going there. This weekend, the hype machine is the locomotives going at 100 miles per hour, and it's incredibly impressive.
It is.
It's incredibly impressive. But you also have to be able to take a step back, see what's coming down the pipe. You realize Colorado has flaws, and that's not saying they can't upset one of these teams. Oh, yeah. Who knows? But you're playing in what could be the best conference in the country, from top to bottom, let's be honest. And you're deficient in a lot of areas that the teams you played haven't been able to expose yet, but it's coming.
Well, I've never seen a program playing with house money more than this
team
right
incredible.
Now. The thing is, Colorado could have won 0 games this year, and there would have still been a lot of excitement, and there would have still been people saying, hey, Deion Sanders just needs time, and he's going to get it figured out. That's if they won 0 games. Now you started off the season by going and beating a team in the Big 12 who played in the national championship last year. Forget that it's a different team. I'm just talking about the optics of the situation. And then beating an old-school Colorado rival, like a deep rivalry in Nebraska that's now in the Big 10. That's how you start your season. So now you can't tell Colorado fans anything. Or I'm having a trouble with the distinction between Colorado fans and just fans of Deion Sanders, because like everyone's getting mashed together now, which is kind of interesting. Like we really haven't seen that before.
That's why they did it.
I know, and it's just a great move for Colorado. Now, some of these fans, whether they're Colorado fans or just Deion Sanders fans, some of them I don't think are actually watching Colorado's football games. They're just seeing the scores and they're just seeing winning, which at the end of the day, what matters is just that you found a way to win the football game, which is what's impressed me most with Colorado so far. But if they were actually watching the football games, I think they would pick up on some of the things you're saying. You still don't have a run game. You're still deficient in a lot of areas on defense, and I think that's going to come into play when you face the quarterbacks down the stretch, like Bo Nix, Caleb Williams. You're going to play Cam Rising, Cameron Ward, DJ Uiagalelei, a lot of these quarterbacks. But regardless of that, Shedeur Sanders is the thing I keep coming back to. Like he is such a great quarterback, not just an athlete running around back there at quarterback. He's on time, he's on schedule, he's making all the right decisions. Next year is the year that I think is even more interesting because now Colorado's going to be going to the Big 12 in a year where Texas and Oklahoma both leave, and Utah's coming with them, but Cam Rising's not going to be playing anymore. Like Colorado next year in the Big 12 is what's fascinating to me, and I'm starting to watch Shedeur Sanders, and I'm seeing a guy who can actually play at the next level. I'd love to see him throw in person so I could see the arm strength just with my own eyes and not through the TV because there's a difference. But he seems like he's going to have a decision to make next year.
Mel Kiper moved him up 3
I saw that. I don't want to talk about Mel
But you know how that...
Tom.
Look,
I know Mel Kiper. First off, I think he's a vampire.
he's the first one that'll go silent as soon as, Shedeur Sanders those 3
But
interceptions
I
against
do
Oregon
think
or
after
something.
watching Shedeur that like this isn't some guy who's playing quarterback because of who his father is. Like he is
100%.
a
100%.
legitimate quarterback at this level. And they're talking about him and Drew Aller if he hangs around in that 2025 draft. I mean, it could be tight.
And let's see. That's why I would love to see him play in person. But here's one thing a question I have for you guys, and it's mostly for the Colorado fans, not the guys who are pulling for Colorado right now just because they're Deion Sanders fans. How many games do you want Colorado to win this year? Because I'm looking around right now, Colorado fans I'm hearing from them every single weekend that Colorado keeps winning and they're excited and, hey, are you on the Colorado train now? And I'm wondering, man, how many games do y'all want Deion to win in his first year? Because I saw Mel Tucker win 5 games out there and then left for Michigan State the next year. If Deion wins 8 games in his first year, he's going to get tons of interest from other schools. Are Colorado fans not worried that he would leave after 1 season, or is the momentum you've already gotten from even 1 season with Deion Sanders, was that worth it all?
I think Deion has the ability to turn Colorado into a true destination place. I think he has the ability.
More than he could Florida if that job came open, more than he could one of these SEC or
again a lot of it depends. I think the money's going to flow in there because Colorado's got money. I mean, they've you look at some of the alumni they have. I think Deion's the type person where, especially the Florida State's rolling, there's very few places that could pull Deion away. Would Florida be one of them? Possibly, but I think they'd go after Lane Kiffin.
If the money's going to flow anywhere he goes, though.
It is, but I think Colorado is a place that you could turn into a monster. And if Deion gets the right, because that was the thing. It's the support, right? That you're going to get from the administration.
Man. Michigan has a lot of money. Michigan has a ton. Michigan has the most money in the world. No championships in the past 25 years. USC has a ton of money. No championships. I'm just wondering, at what point does another program come along and he says, well, if the money's going to flow anywhere I go, which it is, why don't I go where the recruiting hotbeds are? Miami.
Yeah, but does Deion want to be the guy that turns that place into that place instead of going to a place where it's been done before? I feel like Prime's that type of guy. Life's more fun when you're in on the action, so download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use our code CRAIN, CRAIN, because new customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on college football. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code CRAIN, CRAIN. The crown is yours. Blaine, when I look at Colorado's schedule and you go up and down this thing, Colorado State's not a very good football team. There's a reason I took Colorado on the sharp minus 23.5. But you're going to Oregon the week after that. All right, we're going to play a game of get the Ouija board out and let's find the spirits. Okay, then you've got USC at home after that. Those are going to be 2 tough ones. At Arizona State, Stanford at home should win that game. At UCLA, Oregon State, a good Arizona team, a good Washington State team. At Utah, it's going to come back down to reality very quickly, but there looks like there's 6 wins in there.
No, yeah, 6 wins. I think you can put 8 wins in there. I mean, at this point, there's not a team, even after watching Oregon play Texas Tech, Colorado's going to be able to score on Oregon. I think Oregon's going to win that game. I think Oregon's defense is a little bit better. But you roll through the USCs, UCLAs, Oregon State will be an interesting matchup because of the way they play. They're giggling in front.
Oregon State's a bad matchup. It's a bad matchup.
We'll see when we get there, but I do believe this. I do believe what TCU did last year with the amount of one-possession games they won, which I'm pretty sure it was 9, I think TCU gave up 160 yards on the ground a game, 6 yards a carry, almost 6 yards a carry on defense a game. I think they're a little bit more talented in the secondary than Colorado was. But that TCU team resembles this Colorado team. And one is just the waves they're making, their name's so out there and so early in the way they're winning games. And you look at this Colorado schedule, I think they're going to drop a couple, obviously. I had them winning 5 games before the season started. I can see 8 being their ceiling right now. But I do see Colorado as maybe, if the ball falls the right way, all right, for a couple of these games, you lose one of these games. You lose to Oregon on the road, and you somehow, well, maybe 2 games. With 2 games with this schedule, could Colorado end up in the playoff without a Pac-12 championship?
No, there's no chance. So where do you see 8? I got them beating Colorado State. That's 3. You're going to lose to Oregon. You're going to lose to USC. Arizona State, I could see that, right? That's 4. Stanford is 5. UCLA, I don't see you beating them on the road.
I can see them beating UCLA.
I don't see them beating Chip Kelly. I don't see them beating Oregon State.
I could see them beating Oregon State.
You could see them beating Oregon State. Oregon State has the best, one of the top, probably a top 5 offensive line in the country, and one of the best defenses in the country. That is a worse matchup for Colorado than USC is.
How about Washington State? That's getting interesting.
You know, if that game was at Colorado, I think that game could legitimately be 60-57.
And look, they dodge a bullet with no Washington on this schedule because I think Michael Penix Jr. would throw for 600 yards.
Yeah, without a doubt. And then you go to Utah, and Cam Rice is going to be back. 6 to me is such an enormous accomplishment with what I thought they were going to do before the year. It's just this TCU winning 9 games by 1 possession is such an anomaly. Name the last time a team has won that many games by 1 possession.
No, I can't, but it's doable.
Well,
it is doable. I think you'd have to sweep the Arizona schools.
It's very, very unlikely, especially to happen back to back. Just the truth.
Yeah, you'd have to sweep the Arizona schools for sure and take care of Stanford and then beat one of the some more.
And this is assuming they stay healthy. This is assuming that
there's always that one team, man. There's always that one team every year that does something weird, that does something no one's going to think of. Hell, no one thought Colorado's going to win more than 1 game. At this point, they're about to be 3-0. They're going to go into that Oregon game, week 4. And I tell you what, Oregon's going to be favored in that game, favored by probably a lot. If they win that game,
right now.
Yeah. If they somehow win that game,
I'm just telling you, they do. If they win that one, then I'll start to believe. But when they come back and they lost by 28 points or 35 points, then I'm just going to reiterate what we're talking about right now. That one team that I think that you're mentioning that not a lot of people are really talking about right now that could be that kind of come out of nowhere team. Man, the more I look at Duke's schedule,
yeah,
the more I look at it, like it's just starting to smell funny. If you really go through it, you get Northwestern at home, right? At Connecticut, you get Notre Dame at home.
So Duke does play Notre Dame at home.
Duke does play Notre Dame, and it's at home. You get NC. Let's say you lose that one. You get NC State at home. You get Florida State on the road. You're gonna lose that one. You go play Louisville. That'll be tight. Wake at home. At North Carolina, that's winnable. At Virginia, that's winnable. If Duke only loses now that they beat Clemson to Florida State on the road, and Notre Dame's independent, that's a 2-loss team playing in the ACC championship game against Florida State again.
So they don't play Miami.
Don't play Miami.
Wow.
I'm just telling you, that's the team to kind of, if you want to see one that just comes out of the depths, and then if A&M has a bad year and Mike Elko ends up going to the ACC championship game with Duke, you're going to start hearing some things.
How you guys feeling about plus 19 for Georgia Southern at Wisconsin after their performance last week?
Doesn't Georgia Southern have like a big-time player that's hurt?
I haven't got to watch Georgia Southern play this year, to be honest.
Yeah.
They got like a wide receiver, I think, that's hurt. But look, with the way Wisconsin, I mean, they didn't start playing the way I thought they were going to play last week. And I want to give credit to Washington State and what they're doing out there. I mean, Cam Ward's an absolute monster. The one I keep looking at, and I've watched Boston College play 2 weeks in a row. Now, full disclosure, the only reason I got to watch them last play against Holy Cross or Mother Mary State or whoever that was because there was a rain delay in the Notre Dame NC State game. But God, they lost to Northern Illinois, got beat up at home first week by Northern Illinois, snuck one out against Holy Cross. Florida State's a 25.5-point favorite,
Yeah.
even though it's on the road in BC, and I know they're going to be up for that game, whatever. I mean, I just see Florida State walking the dog on them. That's the one that surprises me. Hey, YouTube, appreciate you checking us out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button as well on the video, and turn that notification bell on. We'd really appreciate it.